Well, hello everybody. This is Sue Erickson. I am the Soggy Stamper. My website is www.soggystamper.com, and I'm here to share with you the my favorite part of Celebration. It's from the second release of free gifts that you can get. This one is with a $50 purchase. And it's this Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper. It has both silver and rose gold embossed foil on it. I like to take my Designer Series papers and cut a 3x3 square to put on the back of the cardboard that the papers come with. That way I can look and see if they're what the patterns are without having to pull out each individual piece of paper. So that's what I have done. This Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper has only four patterns, but you get 3 pieces of 12 by 12 paper in each of the 4 patterns. It is a little bit lighter weight because it is one-sided, but that is really a great advantage because as I'm going to show you in this card we're going to make, the reverse side, when you color it with the Stampin' Blends, comes through and it's a very nice, beautiful, soft watercolor effect to it. And I love it for that reason. This paper is really great for doing coloring. I have several examples of different ways I have colored it and different cards I have made. This card we're going to be making tonight. I did this one for an online thing to show all 4 of the different patterns. So and I have done different coloring techniques. I colored the individual roses after I had gently sponged the background of this back piece. This center piece here I sponged all over with one color, and then this one I sponged with a couple of different colors, and then as you can see this one I colored with Stampin' Blends each individual one. Here is another example of one that is sponged. I used Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana when I sponged this one. So let's get started with tonight's. I'm going to start with a basic Whisper White cardstock that has been 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. This is our card base. You will need a piece of Granny Apple Green. It's 3 inches by 5.25 inches, and you're going to need a piece of the large flowered DSP or Specialty DSP, and that is 2 3/4 inches by 5.25 inch. You also are going to need fussy cut out one of the large flowers from the Designer Series paper. So first thing I'm going to do, the stamp set that I'm going to use for the greeting, this happy birthday greeting, the stamp set is the Happy Birthday to You stamp set, which is a free option from Celebration with a $50 purchase. This stamp set is a wonderful stamp set. And then you can also buy the dies to cut out the flowers from the companion add-on thing. No, I'll have to take that back. The dies have sold out. Sorry about that, but it's not too hard to fussy cut. And the flowers are almost identical to the flowers from this Flowering Flowering Foils DSP. You're going to need Granny Green stamping pad, and I'm using both the light and dark Granny Green Stampin' Blends and the light and dark Flirty Flamingo stamping blends. So let's get started. So one of the things I like about coloring with Stampin' Blends is that it makes a somewhat of a translucent color to it. I really should be just doing the darkened areas, the shading areas with this darker. And then come in with the lighter color. So there are only a couple of days, not a couple of days, there is about half a month, not quite, half a month left of Celebration. Starting on March 24th, to get you excited about buying more things for Celebration, they're going to offer some of the things out of the annual catalog at a discount. Don't know what it's going to be yet. They haven't told us. It's going to be as much a surprise for us demonstrators as it is for our customers. During Celebration, they're offering an awesome special. If you decided you wanted to be a demonstrator, have a chance to earn some more money. The thing about being a demonstrator that's great is that you can work as hard as you want or as little as you want. The only requirement is that you have at least $300 of sales, and that can be just from you, each quarter. I've been a demonstrator for 19 years now and have yet to have a big business, but I am really quite happy with just the amount of customers that I have. Would like a few more, but I think the thing for me that is best about being a demonstrator is the friendships that I have made over time, and I just can't imagine. I love teaching, and so I love teaching stamping, and I love the expressions people get on their faces when they make stuff, and the satisfaction when they find out that they can make beautiful cards by themselves on their own. Yeah, this is the light, so I'll do that center there. Not quite sure what these little things are here on the ends. I'm going to assume they're buds, but I think they're really berries. I'm going to color them though with the pink color. Anyway, I'll add some green to the leaves. So at any rate, the special for demonstrator, if you sign up this by the end of March, you get a little paper cutter that is just very handy to have right on your stamping table. Doesn't take up much space. It's a guillotine type paper cutter, which is kind of nice, and it's a nice complement to the trimmer, Stampin' Trimmer that we have now. In addition to that, you get to choose a free stamp set of your choice. I believe any stamp set that you want. And you get a paper pack, a 6x6 paper pack with samples of all of the Designer Series papers in the Celebration catalog and in the Spring mini catalog. So there's our focal point one. I'm not going to do all of this video because it's kind of time consuming. But if you'd like to know more about becoming a demonstrator, give me a call or email me at sue@soggystamper.com. And I'd love to talk with you about a little bit more about the benefits of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Like I say, you can work as hard at it as you want or as little as you want. You can even be just a hobby demonstrator just to get the discount and save yourself between 20 and 25% on the products. It all depends on how much, what you would like to get out of your business. And this is a business. You're the independent thing. Stampin' Up! Has a few requirements, but not many. You can't sell competing product. They frown on that. They even frown on you advocating even if you're not selling it yourself. They kind of frown on you promoting it. And it doesn't make much sense for you as a business person because you want your customers to be buying things from you. Kind of coloring this a little bit differently maybe than I did on my sample card. I'm kind of doing it by so like I was saying, I like to teach, and since the coronavirus has become a big deal and running rampant around here across the world, I am going to have to resort to teaching online. This is my first step. Actually, this is my first actual live Facebook Live that I have done. And I know it's kind of funky, probably. Gotta hurry up here. Probably should have done part of this in advance and just shown you a little bit of the coloring, because you all know how to color, and that's not quite the purpose of the video, to teach you how to color. With the virus, we have to stay pretty much sheltered at home, and I can't think of anything better to do than to create with your stash of stamping supplies that I'm sure if you're like me, you have a lot of them. And then, after you have created, mail off to your friends. Since we can't see them on a daily basis, sending them a card. especially now, would be very, very encouraging to them that you're still thinking of them and wishing them well. This also is a good thing to do with kids. When my granddaughters were little, I was down visiting from Alaska where we used to live. And one afternoon we were stamping with the two older girls, and the youngest one was taking a nap. I was hoping we would be finished before she woke up from her nap, but we weren't quite done. Didn't quite have things put away, and she wanted to join us. She was about 2 years old at the time. At any rate, I gave her a stamp and a piece of paper, a stamp that was a foam stamp. It didn't have a block on it, so it was much shallower than the stamps we have now, and a piece of paper, and she stamped on it, and she says, "It's not working." And I went, "Oh, can't fool her." So I did. I gave her a stamp pad. It was a kid's stamp pad, so it was washable, and was easy to wash out of clothes and stuff like that. Showed her to go tap, 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 and then to press it onto her paper. So she went tap, 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 and then she went tap, tap, tap on her paper. But since the stamp was only about half an inch thick at the most, her fingers got into the ink as well. And it was so cute because here were all these little tiny fingerprints all over her piece of paper. But she had stamped. We quickly got cleaned up after that because I wasn't going to get into it too much with her. Unfortunately, I haven't stamped with those granddaughters much recently because they grew up and have moved away, off to college and doing their own thing. So just about done here. Then I'll show you the other side. A little bit of the light to kind of blend it together a little bit. The thing I like about the blends is that it may look kind of not well blended together yet, but when you get done, it kind of migrates out. I have never quite mastered the technique of blending with our stamping markers. So I really like using these. These are alcohol inks, and they dry quickly. If you're stamping with just regular ink, you have to use Memento ink with it. If you used StazOn, the alcohol from the Stampin' Blends would cause the StazOn to smear too. So here we go. And look at that nice soft watercolor background. So we're ready to make the card. Here's a little bit of, okay, I got it ready right here. Here it is. A little bit of snail on the back. This is the 3 and 5 1/4 inch piece of Granny Apple Green. Like that. Then we're going to put down this one. It's pretty on this side, but I like the soft effect for background. Like that. Okay, oh, the other thing you need are Stampin' Dimensionals. Happen to have some right here. We'll pop up pop up this one.
Hurry up, go potty. You have to go. Go potty. Hurry up. Cold out there.
Put that on there like about like that. Now we'll get our greeting. And this is the Granny Apple Green stamp pad. I like to check first off to make sure, like that. Pretty good, pretty close to being straight. It's hard to get those on exactly straight. Oh my goodness. That does not fit. See if I can pop this layer up. You know, the snail adhesive sticks so well when you don't want to, when you want to release it. And when you want it, sometimes it doesn't stick at all. Well, you know what? We can turn this over and put this on the other side. So that you can see it correctly. Oh, come on, get out of there. So even a person of 19 years of stamping has challenges. So I'll just redo it on this side, making sure that it's near the top. Now I can stamp down here. And there you go. We have a sticky but otherwise beautiful card. Now what I would do is trim this down and at the front of it and mount it on another card and salvage it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Leave comments if you'd like. I welcome any comments actually on my how to improve my thing. I've tried to get everything kind of together, and being as it's the first time I have made the, done an Facebook Live, I am welcome to have suggestions. At any rate, this is Sue at Soggy Stamper. Thank you so much for watching. I have the details of this card on my blog at www.soggystamper.com. And you can find me on the Stampin' Up! Website. I am Sue Creates. Creations by Sue. Sorry about that. Creations by Sue. I started that website before I started my blog, and unfortunately didn't get the names kind of matched up. Anyway, thanks for watching. I am going to be doing this more often since we can't do things in person. So watch for my next one. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Yeah, I'm trying to be.